Hi everybody, it's the Pips Prophet, and today is 14th of June 2025, and I just want to give you guys a recap. I've been away for a while, okay, and let's see. I just want to give you some recap on what happened. We actually had a CPI explosive week, okay. Remember, I only trade post CPI. Okay, post CPI, and let's see what happened last week. Right now, I'm on the Euro USD, and remember, I always want to do my analysis from the higher time frames to the lower time frame. Okay, using the DXY initiative to determine the strength or the weakness of the dollar, okay, before I take any trading decision. And let's look at this is the Euro USD, okay, and I think from the last analysis we did, okay, um, we had a sell objective, but then where the point we were looking at was actually this point, this liquidity point. Yeah, and of course, that was where the CPI dragged market into. And you could see that I took my retracement point from that very sweep on liquidity, right? Yeah, so that was the entry right here on the 1 hour sweep, break and retest, 5 minutes, and all of that. Okay, so let's look at the weekly time frame and see what's happening on the weekly. Yeah, so this is the weekly time frame, and let's look at, yeah, beautiful. So you can see that after this very massive move, market retested back into the discount point, and we could see at this discount, we saw that this was the drawn liquidity, just as I outlined right here. And look how the market went right into that liquidity point, swept the external range liquidity. The simple market model is that market moves from internal range to external, from external to internal. And that's what we see right here. Okay, market moved to internal range liquidity, to this bearish order block right here. Moved to the external range liquidity, took out all of the liquidity right here, cleared them out as the external into this fair value gap, okay, which has yeah, into this bullish order block, which has a fair value gap right here. Let's see. Oh, price swept liquidity right here. This is a very high probability point, and look at how the market tapped into that point right here. This was a fair value gap, and price tapped into it, clearing out the liquidity pool right here above this fair value gap. And from that point, we could see that price rallied. Okay, so we consider this to be an internal range liquidity, and then price what rallied to clear out an external range liquidity. Yeah, and after which price came into an internal range liquidity and external, which is this point which I marked here. So we could see that price created a W pattern, okay, right here, creating the failure swing right here, breaking the last high right here, okay, retested back into the zone and pushed up to clear out poor liquidity right here. So if you ask me, I would say price will likely, following the week, we're gonna enter All right, price is likely going to sell a bit. Okay, we are hoping to see a retracement, okay, before price continue to push to the upside, because overall it's a bullish trend. Okay, but we want to see some form of retracement, guys. So you can see that the bullish candles are way stronger. Okay, if you look at the 3 months candle, you could see that there was a break on this high into a region called a premium level. If you consider this dealing range from this low to this high, price is already at a deep premium, and we hope to see some form of rejection. Okay, some retest to the downside. Okay, it's been a one-side movement on the higher time frame, and if you look at this, we have a mitigation block right here. Okay, a failure swing here, price retested back into this zone right here. Okay, so we have a mitigation block structure right here, which price retested into, sweep out liquidity here. Okay, and we hope to see a push back to the downside. We hope to see a sell. Okay, so that's it, that's what I'm looking at for the meantime. I just start on the higher time frame. So let's go back to the 1 hour time frame. So unfortunately we didn't take any reasonable trade this week, except for the scalping we did. Okay, um, we didn't really take any reasonable trade today because of the CPI impact. Okay, we decided to sideline, except for the scalping trade which we took yesterday, and this was the trade idea. Okay, soon as price got to this point right here, let me show you guys. Beautiful. So this was the previous week's high. Okay, as soon as after the CPI we saw a massive bullishness which swept the previous week's high. That is an indication that it's likely going to be a retracement. Okay, because we have buy side inefficiency. We have a buy side inefficiency, a sell side imbalance. Okay, so by that we're expecting to see some form of rebalancing of the market. Okay, that was the more reason why we had to wait after the sweep on the previous week's high. Okay, the market formed a mitigation block pattern, okay, an M pattern, and you could see that this failure swing, after this failure swing we could see a break of structure right here, and after the break of structure, what did the market do? The market now retested back. Okay, so two things you could do: you could take an aggressive entry from this point. Immediately you see the break. Okay, and the break, the sweep on liquidity happened during the New York session, and we saw a swing high formed right here. Okay, during the New York session, so that is an indication that we'll have a pullback to the downside, and you can see another sweep on liquidity right here. Then so if you're taking an aggressive entry, you may likely want to take your entry from this point. Yeah, because most times the market will break this sweep point right here and retest back into this point and begin to sell, just like it's happening right here, right? Okay, so but the market decided to create a shifter structure right here. Okay, breaking this pool of liquidity here, creating a fair value gap right here. That's on the 1 hour time frame, because that's the time frame I look forward to taking my entry. Okay, so if you're taking your entry, you could take your, if you're taking a break and retest, you wait for the market to get into this region, and this will be our entry, right? And I'll stop right above this fair value gap. Okay, so that was a very sweet scalping opportunity, because this is a 1 hour time frame and you have a point of interest. Okay, price got into that point of interest, so all you need to do if you are a scalper, and remember this happened during the late New York session, at the exact time and hour I look for to take my entries. Remember that's the time I take my entries. So if this happened during the New York session or the late New York session, that the market return, price action return back into your point of interest, you can decide to take that trade. It's going to be a high probability trade. Okay, all right, so I took a two-sided trade, meaning from this point, seeing this W pattern break and retest. Okay, I took an entry right here at this point. Okay, because I knew that the market is definitely going to reverse into my point of interest, and that was what the market did yesterday. Being Friday, immediately I saw the sweep on liquidity right here. Okay, I just knew that the market is going to push up into my point of interest, which is the POI right here. Okay, this fair value gap. Okay, the market went right in, sweep liquidity right here. Immediately I saw the sweep of liquidity, market broke, retest back to the point of sweep of liquidity, and that is my entry, guys. Okay, and look how the market is pushing to the downside. Okay, so on Monday during the market open, I hope to see some push to the downside, okay, into this point right here, this fair value gap right here, and ultimately the market would like to also perhaps push to clear out this liquidity right here. Okay, so that was the trade we took yesterday, and let's see how the week is gonna be. Okay, and we can anticipate that from our forex factory. Okay, let's see. All right, let's look at Monday. All right, you could see that Monday there's no high impact news. The volatility is going to be low. All right, so I'm not going to trade on Monday. We'll look forward to taking our entry on Tuesday. We have JPY. There are a lot of high impact news on JPY. So if you're trading a JPY pair, related pair, correlated pair, you just have to trade with caution. All right, for US dollar and CAD, yeah, there's news by 1:30 p.m. and from the forecast, the anticipated data is saying that US dollar is going to be strong. It's going to be strengthened on the first impact. Okay, which means they are anticipating that it's going to be a sell for the Euro USD. Okay, sell. All right, from here they're saying it's going to be a sell to buy. Okay, so there's a high tendency we might have a seek and destroy pattern, so you just want to be careful with such news, except if you are already in the position that sell position for the week, then you can slide through this trade. And Wednesday, what do we have here? By 7 a.m. we have a new CPI on the GBP. All right, so if you're trading GBP USD, the data forecast is saying that GBP is going to be weak. All right, which means if you're trading GBP USD, then you're going to look to sell the GU by 7 a.m. Okay, and let's see, by 1:30 we have unemployment claims. This may not really be a significant push the market significantly. It may not, but let's see how it's gonna go. There's no data focus right here. Let's see, by 7 we have FOMC. Yeah, so basically we are going to see a massive move on Wednesday by 7 p.m. There's going to be FOMC. You can see we have about 4 on the road. Okay, so I believe this week is going to be a very, very peaceful week. Sorry, next week, not this week. All right, so Thursday we have a news on GBP by 12. Okay, so basically I'm just going to stick to Euro USD next week. All right, because we have so much high impact news on the GBP USD, so I want to avoid trading GBP USD. If you're trading GBP USD, you just have to be careful with your position, and your lot sizing and risk management have to be intact. Okay, guys, so let's see how it goes next week, guys. So thanks for joining, and I hope you had an insightful idea from this video. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so, as I'll be dropping insightful study. Okay, and if you have people or traders who are struggling to analyze the market, you can do well to share this link, okay, so they can also benefit from the market forecast we do every week. All right, cheers and have a nice weekend, and God bless you. Bye for now.